babies. So to continue my college series, I'm going to be talking to you guys about why I chose to go to community college. So it's a long story. There's a lot of stories that will be mentioned, and if you want me to go in depth, and I probably will, I will tell you a little bit later. But for right now, we're just going to stick to just a general, the stories in this will be definitely just brief. I won't be going into full-blown story mode. I'm going to try to keep this video down, because I know you guys don't seem to like videos that are long, so yeah. Let's get into it. I graduated in 2015, so shout out to class of 2015. And after I graduated, I went to community college. Now, a lot of people kind of grow up having the dream of going off to college, and in their mind, they're going to a university. So, and I only use my did quotation marks is because community college and university is the same thing. It's just that they offer different things. So that's why they have different names. There's no real complete difference besides living on campus. So, growing up, I wanted to go to college. I knew for a fact I would go to college, so it's no shock that I'm in college. But I never thought I'd be going to community college. I thought I would be going to a university. But God had different plans. So, I went to a school that was basically, I went to a middle school that was basically based for minorities, so there wasn't a lot of funding, there wasn't a lot of things in there. So we never really learned about how your GPA and, scholarships and all that worked. I didn't learn about any of that till my senior year of high school. Even though I had heard of it, but no one really showed me how it all would play, like how much of an effect it would all have until my senior year. So freshman year, I pretty much did my thing, got pretty good grades, My freshman year, I had issues getting to school, so my grades kind of suffered, but I did okay. I did pretty well. I kind of just got C's, nothing really major. Sophomore year, again, I was trying to do well, but I couldn't really find my footing as far as school was concerned. I kind of did a little bit bad because I was having issues at home. I was having some personal issues, and then junior year happened. And junior year is what really killed my, that was when my luck ran out, because up until that point, I was doing well with getting just C's, and I was like, okay, my GPA is pretty good, a 3.1 is it ain't perfect, but it's alright. So, junior year came around, and I started off junior year making a vow that I would get A's because I knew that it was inside of me. I just knew that I wasn't able to get to school enough, and when you can't get to school a lot, it kind of affects how you do in school, because my school had a policy where basically if you missed more than 6 days out of any given semester, which means you had to go those whole months of school, you had to go all fall semester without missing more than 6 days, or you get an automatic F. And yes, you can repeal the decision, don't get me wrong, but it's very rare that they repeal it, especially unless you really have to have like a doctor's note in order for them to repeal it. Like if you just come in there and you say, well, I didn't have a way to school, or if you say like, oh, I was sick but I didn't go to the doctor, or any other reason, like let's say you went on a family trip and it was 6 days but you had already booked it in advance, they don't care. They're like, unless you were out because your leg was broke or you were sick with pneumonia, we don't want to hear it. Which they later abolished after I graduated. But basically, that's what kept making me get bad grades all up through the thing, because I would always miss 6 days. And it was very hard to not miss 6 days, because it's like, that was literally a week of school in like a day. So it's like, can you imagine like what all could happen within 2 weeks, especially during the wintertime? But junior year came along, and the power in my house just briefly go off and on at the same time. Senior year came along, and basically my family ended up being homeless. Now, we weren't homeless in the sense of like we literally had nowhere to go, but I was living in a hotel far away from my school and far away from my bus stop. So, and my dad had to go to work, so there was only one car. So it was like, bitch, you're not going to school. Like it was something you really didn't. It was really no question behind it, because my dad's like, well, I'm going to make money because we need to live in this hotel till we can find another house, and I need the car to get to work. And so it was kind of like I didn't know how to ride the city bus at the time. I did not know what buses ran around that side of town at that time. I didn't know any of these things. I was a child. My parents were both going off to work, so they didn't really have much time to really sit down and figure that out. So I just kind of had to take a back seat from school. I did go to school some days that I was able to. And I made up as much work as I could, but towards the end it was kind of difficult in some classes to make it up, and I ended up failing 2 classes, which drug my GPA down, girl. Now, senior came along, and I kind of already knew that I would be I wouldn't be going to a 4-year university, at least not my first choice, because back then my first choice was to go to FIDM in California, FIDM if you know it. It's a fashion school in Los Angeles, and I really wanted to go, and if I would have got in, I would have went, but I knew that I would not get picked, one, because I didn't have my portfolio ready, but also because their GPA requirements were high. So then my next choice was Central, because back then I wanted to major in law, but again, my GPA just was not where it was at. And then my third choice, y'all, because I had 3 choices that you had to make, was, I'm trying to think. I think it was Shaw. Yeah, I was gonna apply. I applied to Shaw. So in the end, I ended up applying to Shaw, Hampton, some little stupid school. I can't even remember the name. And that was the one that I got into. I got into one of these schools, and I applied for something else, and I didn't. And I got denied from I applied to 4 different schools, and I didn't get into at least 3 of them. And I got into one, but I didn't want to go because it cost way too much money. It was $22,000 a year, and I was like, ugh. And I didn't have no scholarships or anything, so I was like, I might as well just take community college for $300. So I decided to go to community college towards the end of my semester because, I mean, even though I got accepted into a university, I still hadn't chose to go. I still hadn't applied for a community college just yet. I had still kind of I had sort of convinced myself mentally that oh, okay, I'm going to get in somewhere. I'm not going to community college because, community college has that stigma of, well, y'all were too dumb to get in anywhere, so you ended up here. So, which is not the case now that I'm there, but that's the stigma in high school. So I basically ended up spending time in community college, mainly. So I basically had 2 options. It was go to this university that was really expensive or go to community college. I ended up choosing community college because it was cheaper. A, it was cheaper. B, the class environment was a lot better. And 3, it was close to home, and I didn't really want to go off to school, especially to a school that was in a town that I had never heard of before. The school was in a town that I had never heard of before, so I didn't really want to go there. And it also was not the kind of environment. It was a Christian-based school, and I don't like Christian-based schools, to tell you the truth. Just because I don't line up with Christian ideals. Being trans at a Christian school, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm just why would any LGBT person want to go to a Christian school? You just already know what you're getting yourself into because you know they finna be homophobic. Not saying that me going to HBCU is a smart decision either, because let's be honest. I'm about to get into some real deal transphobia next file. But I'll be there to document it all, so you guys will have to keep me in high spirits while I'm there because, girl, I already can hear the comments now chattering around me. But yeah, this is basically why I ended up going to community college. So if you are a senior and you are thinking about going to community college, or you already are going to community college, don't feel bad. Do not feel like you have to go off to a 4-year university or even a prestigious school. You're in college. You're following your dream. That's all that should matter. And if your friends think you're stupid, or your family, fuck them. Seriously, fuck them. Because you know what? You are beautiful and you are following your dreams, and that's all that matters. And either way, you're getting a college education. And my degree from my community college is going to be the same thing as whatever anybody else getting. So, girl, gone. It's actually a lot smarter in some cases to go, because a lot of people I know that want to be an engineer, they go and get their associates in engineering, and then they work as an engineer while they're getting their bachelor. So it actually makes a lot more sense, because then you have work experience plus your bachelor's degree, and you are more likely to get hired anyway. So that is all for now, guys. Until next time, I will see you guys a little bit later. Bye.